You won't believe what happened to me last weekend. It's one of those stories that sounds crazy, but I swear it's 100% real. It all started when I noticed something was off at the marina. My speedboat, the one I've spent months fixing, up and saving for, was nowhere to be seen where I left it. At first, I thought maybe I just messed up the spot or someone moved it for maintenance. But then I caught her Karen. Yeah, that Karen. The kind of person everyone knows around town for causing trouble. I saw her trying to start my speedboat like she owned it, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I ran over and told her to stop. But instead of owning up or explaining, she just got defensive. Things escalated fast. Before I knew it, Karen was on the phone, calling 911 on me like I was the one causing problems. I stood there, stunned, watching her twist the story right in front of my face. The tension was thick, neighbors gathering, cameras out, and everyone wondering what was going to happen next. I never expected someone would try to steal my boat. And definitely not that they would try to get the police involved against me. It felt like a scene from a movie, but it was real life, and I was right in the middle of it. As the sirens started to wail in the distance, I knew this was just the beginning. What would the cops say? Would they believe me or Karen? How did things get so messy so quickly? I'm about to tell you everything that happened after that. But first, you need to hear the full story from the start. Trust me, what comes next will shock you. So stay with me because this is one boat drama you don't want to miss. The whole situation was so surreal because Karen and I have known each other for years. But never like this. She's always been a bit of a headache around. The neighborhood always complaining, always pushing her luck, but I never thought she'd go this far. My speedboat isn't just a fancy toy. It's something I've worked hard for. It's the one thing I look forward to every weekend, a way to escape the noise and just relax on the water. So seeing her try to take it without asking felt like a personal attack. Before this incident, there were little warning signs. Karen's been acting strangely lately, hanging around the marina more than usual. People whispered about how she was having money troubles, maybe trying to find quick ways to make cash, but stealing. That's a whole different level. I kept wondering if she planned this for a while, or if it was a desperate spur of the moment. What made it worse was the way she flipped the story when the police showed up. Karen claimed I was harassing her, accusing me of being aggressive when all I wanted was my boat back. It felt like a trap, like she was ready with her own version to confuse everyone and get out of trouble. Meanwhile, neighbors were picking sides, and my reputation started feeling on the line. I wanted to believe the cops would see the truth. But with Karen's confident attitude and the whole victim act she put on, I couldn't be sure. Plus, there was something about the way she looked at me, like she was daring me to say more. Like she knew she had an edge, I didn't. The whole marina was buzzing with whispers and sideways glances. This wasn't just about a stolen speedboat anymore. It was about trust, lies, and what people will do when they think no one's watching. And just when I thought things couldn't get crazier, something else happened that changed everything. But I'm getting ahead of myself. You'll have to keep watching to find out. After the police arrived, the tension only grew thicker. Karen kept her story tight, insisting I had no right to confront her and that she was just checking on the boat. But I knew better. I saw her trying to start it, and my heart sank, thinking about what could have happened if I hadn't caught her in time. The officers asked questions back and forth, but without solid proof, it quickly turned into a he-said-she's situation. I could tell they were trying to stay neutral, but Karen's confident attitude made me worry they might believe her version. Meanwhile, other boat owners at the marina started weighing in. Some had witnessed parts of the confrontation. Others only heard rumors. There was one guy, Mike, who's been around for years and knows Karen's history. He quietly told me Karen had been borrowing money from the wrong people and might be trying to cover her tracks. That added a new layer to the whole mess. Suddenly, it wasn't just about the boat, it was about hidden debts, desperation, and maybe even some shady connections I hadn't expected. On the flip side, I had friends who warned me to be careful. They said Karen could make things harder for me if I pushed too much, that she's the kind of person who knows how to twist situations in her favor. That made me second-guess how far I should go. Could I really fight this alone? Was the risk of losing my boat worth the headache and drama? And then there was my own doubt creeping in. Was I missing something? Had I misread Karen's actions? What if there was a misunderstanding? But no, deep down, I knew what I saw. Still, the more I thought about it, the more I realized that proving it wouldn't be easy. As the hours passed, the whole neighborhood felt divided. Some stood by me, others sided with Karen, and everyone was watching to see what would happen next. The tension was like a storm ready to break, and I had no idea when or how it would hit. What came next would change everything. But for now, the conflict was far from over. Days passed, and the situation only got more complicated. Karen wasn't backing down. If anything, she grew bolder. I kept hearing whispers that she was talking to people behind the scenes, trying to make sure her side of the story stuck. Every time I showed up at the marina, I felt eyes on me, some filled with sympathy, others with doubt. The atmosphere was thick with tension, like everyone was waiting for the next move to drop. I started digging deeper, trying to find anything that could prove what really happened. I checked security cameras, talked to neighbors, even went over my own footage from the boat's camera system, but nothing clear enough to settle the dispute. Meanwhile, Karen's story remained consistent, innocent, confused, and somehow convincing to some people. It felt like a game of chess, each of us waiting for the other to slip. One afternoon, I caught Karen whispering to someone on her phone, near the docks. Her expression was serious, almost cold, and I knew she was plotting her next step. It hit me that this wasn't just about a stolen boat anymore. It was personal. The entire community was caught in the crossfire of a battle that seemed to have no easy answer. The police said they were still investigating but couldn't take action without clear evidence. That left me stuck, feeling helpless and frustrated. Meanwhile, Karen kept pushing, stirring up drama and doubt among neighbors. I found myself questioning who I could trust and whether I was ready for whatever was coming next. Then, just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, something happened that changed everything in an instant. The moment was tense, charged with emotion, and it left me standing at a crossroads, unsure if I was about to win or lose everything. But that part of the story, you'll have to wait to hear what happened next. Just when I thought the tension had reached its peak, things took an unexpected turn. One evening, as I was reviewing the footage from my boat's camera again, something caught my eye. Someone else was involved. Not just Karen, but another figure lurking near the dock at the exact time she was trying to start my speedboat. This wasn't just a simple theft attempt. It felt like part of a bigger plan. I didn't recognize the person right away, but the way they moved made it clear they knew what they were doing. Suddenly, Karen's story about just checking didn't add up anymore. This new discovery raised so many questions. Who was this mystery person, and why were they helping Karen? Was Karen acting alone, or was there something more dangerous going on behind the scenes? The next day, I tried to talk to some of the marina staff, hoping they might have seen something or knew about anyone suspicious around. One of the workers hesitated before telling me about a few strangers who'd been asking questions about boats and security systems lately. That's when I realized I was dealing with more than just a neighbor's reckless mistake. This was turning into something that could affect the whole community. Karen's calm confidence started to feel like a mask hiding something deeper. I felt the weight of this situation pressing down harder than ever before. The police were still waiting for proof, and now I had to figure out if I was ready to go further to protect what was mine. Every phone call, every conversation, felt like I was stepping deeper into a trap. As the sun set behind the marina, I knew the next move could change everything, not just for me, but for everyone involved. The stakes were higher than ever, and the truth was still out there, waiting to be uncovered. But what happened next? Well, that's where things got really intense. The night everything came to a head, I couldn't sleep. My mind raced over every detail, every suspicious glance and whispered conversation. I decided to stay by the marina, hoping to catch Karen or the mystery person in the act again. Hours passed, the air thick with tension and silence, until finally I saw movement near the docks. Karen showed up, but she wasn't alone. The stranger from the footage was with her, carrying tools and what looked like boat keys. My heart pounded as I quietly recorded everything on my phone. This time, I was ready not just to confront them, but to expose the truth. When Karen spotted me, her confident mask cracked for a moment. The stranger tried to act casual, but I could see the panic in their eyes. I stepped forward and demanded answers. Karen's story fell apart. Under the pressure, she admitted she was desperate and had been working with this person to try and sell my boat without me knowing. The money troubles, the borrowed cash, it was all tied to a bigger plan to make quick money by stealing and flipping boats. Just as I thought the worst was over, the unexpected happened. The stranger pulled out a small envelope and handed it to me. Inside was a note, a warning. It said Karen wasn't acting alone. There was a bigger group behind this, watching and waiting for the right moment to strike. The warning was clear. Back off or face serious consequences. The police arrived shortly after, thanks to a neighbor who saw the confrontation. With the video evidence and Karen's confession, they took the case seriously this time. My speedboat was safe, but the shadow of that warning lingered. In the end, I realized this wasn't just about a stolen boat or a bad neighbor. It was a reminder that sometimes the people closest to us can surprise us, and that there are forces at work bigger than we expect. The story didn't end there, though. What came next was even more unexpected. But that's for another time. After the police took Karen and the stranger away for questioning, things finally started to settle down. I spent the next few days making sure my speedboat was safe and getting some repairs done from the damage caused during the attempted theft. It felt good to have it back where it belonged, but the experience left a mark, not just on my boat, but on how I saw the people around me. The warning note had me on edge for a while, but I reached out to some trusted friends in the marina community. Together, we kept a closer eye on things, sharing information and looking out for each other. It reminded me how important it is to have a support system when things get tough, especially when trust feels broken. I also learned that sometimes people make desperate choices, but that doesn't excuse betrayal or lying. Karen's actions showed me the cost of desperation and how quickly things can spiral out of control when people take the wrong path. It was a harsh lesson in judgment and the importance of standing up for what's yours, even when it feels overwhelming. In the end, my speedboat wasn't just a vessel on the water. It became a symbol of resilience and community. The whole ordeal brought neighbors closer, sparked conversations about safety, and reminded us all to be more aware of what's happening around us. Thank you for sticking with me through this wild story. If there's one thing to take away, it's that life can throw unexpected challenges your way, but with patience, courage, and a little help from those you trust, you can weather the storm. Keep your eyes open and never underestimate the power of standing your ground.